two men, two tragedies. Hamlet and Oedipus Rex, different centuries, different worlds, but at the core, they're both unraveling, spiraling through questions that cut to the bone: truth, fate, death. Shakespeare weaves a tale where every whispered word drips with suspicion, every pause crackles with tension. Sophocles, though, he doesn't give you time to breathe. From the moment Oedipus steps into the light, it's like an avalanche of fate bearing down on him, unstoppable. So, themes. We're talking destiny, free will, guilt, and moral responsibility, but not in the same way. Hamlet? Oh, he's caught in this web of existential dread, a tangle of thoughts about duty, revenge, justice, and let's not forget the big one: death. Hamlet is not just dealing with his father's murder, but grappling with the idea of existence itself. To be or not to be, he asks, and that question, well, it haunts the entire play like a ghost in every shadowed corner of Elsinore. The theme of indecision, it's crippling, paralyzing. Hamlet wants to act, but his thoughts always get in the way. His mind is the battlefield. Now Oedipus, he's fighting something more concrete and much, much larger: fate, preordained destiny. Oedipus charges headfirst into the storm, certain he can outsmart whatever the gods have in store for him. And what happens? The very thing he tries to avoid. Fate in Oedipus Rex is a freight train, unstoppable, undeniable. No amount of cleverness or courage can shift it off its track. While Hamlet's world is full of ambiguity, Oedipus lives in a world of inevitability. Let's shift gears, talk characterization. Hamlet and Oedipus, both are tragic heroes, no doubt, but man, are they wired differently. Hamlet? He's introspective to a fault, overthinks everything. The guy can't make up his mind, not even when it comes to murder. His own uncle, the man who killed his father, sleeps soundly while Hamlet agonizes over whether to act. Hamlet's tragedy is in his inability to move, stuck in his head, trapped in endless loops of thought. Oedipus, though, he's a man of action. Oedipus sees a problem, he wants it fixed. There's a plague, he's on it. A riddle, he solves it. But that confidence, that quick-to-act nature, it's also his downfall. Oedipus doesn't stop to consider the consequences. He's got this relentless drive to uncover the truth, but it's a truth that destroys him. Hamlet's tragedy is that he thinks too much. Oedipus's tragedy is that he doesn't think enough. Now let's get into narrative style, because Shakespeare and Sophocles, they're playing with different tools. Shakespeare's Hamlet? It's layered with soliloquies. Hamlet's thoughts laid bare, a window into his soul. The play moves like a spiral, each act wrapping tighter around Hamlet's internal conflict, filled with rich poetic language, double meanings, hidden motives. Shakespeare is teasing you, making you think, making you feel every hesitation, every doubt. The language is dense, heavy with metaphor, ripe with psychological depth. Shakespeare doesn't just tell you the story, he lets you live in Hamlet's mind. But Sophocles? Oedipus Rex is relentless. No wasted words, no detours into philosophy. The plot drives forward like a thunderstorm. There's no escape. The chorus frames the tragedy, but everything else is fast, precise. Every line feels like a step closer to inevitable doom. And instead of Hamlet's deep, questioning introspection, you get Oedipus's straightforward pursuit of truth, until that truth rips everything apart. Sophocles delivers tragedy like a blade cutting clean through flesh, quick, sharp, and devastating. And here we are, the protagonists. Hamlet, the philosopher prince, brooding, lost in thoughts that lead him nowhere, trapped by his own mind. And Oedipus, the king who acts without hesitation, driven by a belief in his own ability to control his fate, only to realize that he's been playing into the hands of prophecy all along. Both men suffer. Both men fall. But Hamlet's fall is slow, internal, unraveling like a tragic melody, whereas Oedipus's fall is swift, brutal, a crash that leaves nothing but destruction in its wake. Hamlet doubts. He questions. He fears. Oedipus asserts. He commands. He fights. In the end, Hamlet faces death with quiet acceptance, but Oedipus faces his truth with a violent self-inflicted blindness, tearing out his eyes because the world he thought he saw so clearly has betrayed him. Hamlet, Oedipus Rex. Two men doomed by the very traits that make them who they are. One undone by hesitation, the other by relentless certainty. Shakespeare's indecision, Sophocles' fate, two paths that lead to the same tragic end. The question isn't who falls harder, but who saw their fall coming first. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe for more literature comparisons like this one. See you next time.